Welcome everybody to the Queen Mary College Women's Group. I hope you all had a great summer. Now, before we start, I'd like to give some thanks to some very important women. Firstly, Lynn Billington-Wallace, who proposed the idea of a women's group in order to combat sexism in today's day and age. I would also like to thank Bona Gleditch, who, got this thing going, this group, and she founded it, and she made it so we were normal. People could see us as normal and not just bra-burning mammals looking for attention by being purely anti-man. So thank you to both of them. Today, we're going to be discussing some upcoming proposals and campaigns, and you can give your opinions on it. This is a free space. So anyway, I'd like to open up the panel to all you ladies. Whoever wants to go first, please do. And do remember, you will not be shot down for using your brains and not your cocks, like the rugby group.
Hi everyone. So I think we should protest against the James White abortion amendment bill. He's trying to take our ability to abort as women away. I think we should unite against him so we can abort more men like him in the future.
I 100% agree. I think it would also be really beneficial if we were to bring men into the group to create traction.
Respectfully, I disagree. I feel like we should preserve our own bodily autonomy without the oppressive viewpoint of a man. Not saying all men are oppressive, but I feel like a women's group should be made of women.
See, I disagree. I think that feminism should consist of women and men. Otherwise, we just become separatists.
Listen guys, you both bring up very valid points that maybe we can discuss and debate in the future. But for now, can we please focus on one topic that we can unify on?
I think that for female staff and students with children, there should be a Queen Mary's College creche. I think that would be really beneficial. For female students, it would allow them to continue to study, and for female staff, it allows them to continue with lectures and seminars without the constant burden and anxiety of having to care for a child 24/7. I mean, let's be realistic, if this bill does get passed, we're going to have a lot of mothers who didn't want children in our institution.
I love that idea. I also thought maybe we could introduce like a women's studies group to Queen Mary, to teach things such as gender and violence, feminism and sexuality, different modules like that. As it is, Women's Year, as deemed by the UN, and the government are starting to introduce policies such as the Sex Discrimination Act. Why is women's studies not, on the same merit as engineering? Are we not as important? Do we not have enough to say?
These were some of the issues that were raised at the time. Whilst the James White Abortion Amendment Act was never passed, and the group did campaign against it, there was still never a QMC creche or women's studies course at Queen Mary.
The most contested and divisive topic remained whether or not men should be included, as the NUS wanted their feminist groups to be open to all.
In 1981, Queen Mary organised the annual NUS Women Campaign Conference. A unanimous motion was passed asserting the right of all college women groups to organise autonomously without the presence of any men.
We as a group would like to continue our fight against sexism, racism and homophobia. Today we would like to talk about some of our successes from last year, starting with the Women Against Pit Closures, which saw over 23,000 women come out to protest and take part in the conference. We continue our support for the campaign for lesbian custody, as well as Women Fight Back. Now, we must unite against another campaign, the Gillett campaign, which aims to prevent the prescription of contraceptions to under 16s without parental consent or knowledge. Through this, we carry on the feminist cause, as well as honour those who brought us here. Women such as Jane Egerton, Mona Gleditch, Lynn Millington-Wallace, and Pao Swen Tseng. That last name is often forgotten, but make no mistake as to her importance.
born in 1894 in China. She moved to England in 1912, and in 1930 she came to the Westfield College, as we used to be known. She later worked with Westfield to bring Christian women's education to China. She graduated with Bachelor of Science in 1916, becoming the first Chinese woman to receive a degree from London University. In 1918, she contributed to establishment of Yifang School in Changsha, where she became principal. The Yifang School was a women's college based on similar ideals with Westfield, and including subjects such as hunting. During the Second World War, Tseng moved to Hong Kong and then Taiwan. Post-war, she participated in the UN Commission on the Status of Women in 1953.
Important women often get forgotten by history, being remembered only by other women, those of the same race or religion. When I look at Miss Tseng, I pray that is not the case. I pray that she is immortalized and remembered as someone important. She was an educator, a feminist, and a mighty important human being.
Facing 6 years ago was truly lost, so I hope she remains in our mind forever, rather than just someone who simply born in the sky for an instant and fizzled away.
Pao Swen Tseng is remembered in Queen Mary today, being one of the most accessible characters on the Queen Mary website.
Unfortunately, she's the only non-white person on Queen Mary main history page.
Fortunately, there still remains a feminist society in both Queen Mary and Baths. There are also a range of female societies in rugby, hockey, consulting, law, STEM, as well as women of colour societies.